Hello you guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to make a video on how to harness and nurture and really just like connect with and tune in with your own unique individual creativity. And I really felt inspired to make this video because when I'm trying to decide what I want to record, I usually will go based off of kind of like whatever theme I'm currently experiencing in my life or like whatever lesson I feel like I've just come out of. But I also really like to kind of look back at my life over the last couple of years. I've gone through such a tremendous period of growth over the last 5+ years. And I really like to think about what would have been very, very helpful to my younger self and what would have felt like actual life-changing information to my 19, 20, 21-year-old self, and what would have felt like very comforting and like a hug, and what would have felt very reassuring to me, because at that time I was really still coming into myself and there was a lot of distortion around me, and I just didn't feel very great about myself. And I feel like I've come such a long way and I feel so grateful for that. And we're all at different stages of our journey at different times. Just because this is something that would have been helpful for me when I was younger doesn't mean it won't be something that's helpful for you right now. I'm always learning. We're all always learning. And it's always nice to just like hear reminders or hear other people's, input, their own insight from their own experiences to see how it can relate to us. So this is something that I really struggled with. And I would say that that is mainly because I ended up in a very toxic relationship when I was like 19, 20, 21. With somebody that really just wanted to dim my light and make me feel very insecure about myself, and would just constantly put me down and literally verbatim told me that I harnessed zero creativity. And so that was something that I felt very disconnected from. And I had to go through this whole journey of self-growth and self-love and development, and had to really learn to connect with myself, my own creativity, and my own confidence. And I feel like an entirely different person now, and that's amazing. And I wouldn't take that back because it really shaped me into who I am, and I love who I am, and I'm really, really grateful. So yeah, I thought that I would just kind of share a little bit about my past experience, and then kind of like the tips that I've used to really tune in with myself to get to where I am now, which is feeling very, very confident and very just connected and secure within myself and my creativity. And I was thinking about creativity and confidence and just how they're so intertwined, and how it's just like such an innate thing, and how it is just so crazy to tell somebody that they harness zero creativity, because we are all innately creative beings. We create our lives every day with the decisions that we make, the ways that we go about our life. Like, inherently, you are creative. We are all creative. There is no way that you can't be creative just being a human alive. And yes, it is something that you can continue to nurture and harness and deepen your connection and relationship with. But I just want to put it out there first and foremost that you are a creative being, okay? We all are. Naturally, when we're children, we're very creative. We're always creating things. I think as we get older, there's become this weird standard, I guess. I just saw a picture that was like, it's so weird how we've like turned things like singing and dancing and drawing into mediums that like you have to be good at, or, something like that. When as children, it's something that we all just kind of did naturally, because those are things that humans do to express. And now it's kind of like, oh, I'm good at this, I'm bad at this. When it's like, girl, just do it. just let the outlet happen. Just express yourself, And so I think this is just stuff that we all naturally do anyways, but I really do think that it can be a really beautiful and special journey to kind of connect more deeply with yourself, as I've said already a couple of times in this. So yeah, here are my tips that kind of have helped me over the last couple of years. I just kind of sat and spent some time reflecting yesterday on my journey of getting to where I am now, and this is kind of what I came up with. First and foremost, I recommend just really taking some time to reconnect with yourself. Spend some time alone and just really get familiar with what you like and what you don't like. And that also doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a set standard. I think we should always remain malleable, flexible, open, and allow things to shift and transform and evolve over time, allow our tastes to change, and not set any strict boundaries around what we like and what we dislike, because that's super lame and boring and takes away from being in the present moment and just being an open being to new things. I think it's very, very important that we stay open-minded. But I do think there is something to be said about just spending time with yourself and just getting acquainted with what your general tastes are and what stands out to you and what you like and just how you personally feel about things. And I really like to kind of reconnect with my younger self, my essence of who I am. I will do these meditations where I conjure up the feelings that I've always kind of felt in my life, just the essence of being Emily that I've carried with me and will always carry with me, my soul, my spirit, and my personality, I guess, in this lifetime, although that can change and shift over time too, but just kind of, that innate essence that you feel within yourself. I really like to connect to her and just really like kind of revel in my own unique energy and just kind of connect with like who you are at your own inner core, and just remembering that we're all different and unique beings, and that's how it's supposed to be. And that's what makes life fun, is to have that kind of variety and to just like really just sit in your own energy. And I really think that like, yes, you can do that with hanging out with people, but there's something special about being alone and kind of just being able to put all of your energy into yourself and just like sit in a bubble of you, basically. And like I said, I kind of wanted to add on to my point of your personality changing. I think that in this reality, all of our likes and dislikes and all of the personality, it really is all fluff. I truly believe that we are just like, there's an unchanging part behind all of that. That is our true essence, and all of this kind of personality stuff is just fluff. But also I do think that being human in this reality, that fluff is important and our ego is important and your likes and dislikes are important and they should be embraced. So just, kind of tuning into all of that without getting lost in it and without thinking that that is everything. You're so much bigger than you realize. There's so much more to who you are than you realize. It is much more than just the surface level. There's a lot underneath that connects all of us. So yeah, I always like to touch on that because I don't like to operate fully from ego, but at the same time, ego can be fun if you are aware of it. And I think that being human in this reality, we are supposed to embrace our personalities and who we are. So I think fully allow yourself to connect to who you are in this lifetime, because this lifetime is very temporary, and I think that we should just be embracing it and making the most of it. And you deserve to just like get familiar and acquainted with your energy. Like, it is so precious that we get to exist together and that we get to have our own unique styles and tastes and imprints on the world. I think it's actually like the coolest thing ever. And then my next tip for connecting with your own creativity and kind of nurturing it would be to start small and just kind of start by maybe reflecting on certain things that you've wanted to incorporate into your life, into your style, into the way that you express yourself, into a specific hobby or passion or a specific outlet, and do it just for you. I remember during quarantine, I would just sit in my room, I'd deactivate all of my social media and just really hang out with myself. I would take mushrooms and I would also just be sober, and I would just try on outfits and listen to new albums that I had wanted to listen to for a long time. And I got really into making earrings, and they weren't good and I didn't fully know what I was doing, but I made them, and so I thought they were the coolest thing ever, and I would wear them, and it felt so special to wear something that I created, even if it wasn't like amazing, because it was kind of like I had this special relationship with it because I nurtured it, I created it. I did it with my own hands, okay? And that felt special, and I got to pick out the beads, and I got to do it how I wanted, and that felt special. I think that a lot of times maybe we have ideas of things that we want to do or ways that we want to show up in the world, and we feel too insecure or we feel worried of how we're going to be perceived. And I think, those are very valid thoughts. It can be really scary to be perceived. I think the more that you exercise this muscle of owning your own creativity and your own vision, it gets easier and easier, because I actually think that confidence is sourced from just being as you possibly can and being as authentic as you possibly can. But I understand that when you're just starting out, it can be scary to want to just share everything with the world. So I think just taking baby steps and doing, starting small. Maybe you want to start styling your hair a certain kind of way. Maybe you want to start drawing, or, a new outlet for your art and for your own creativity. I think do it for you and start small and just enjoy it and have fun and play in your room and make it, a fun and sweet little thing that is just intimate with yourself. Or maybe if you do want to share it with somebody close to you, I think just explore and have fun, genuinely have fun. This stuff is supposed to be fun. This weird pressure got created where everyone in LA wants to be a creative. And I remember I'd get so intimidated by hearing people say that, because I'm like, what does that even mean? And now I understand, because I myself want to have a creative job. And by that, I mean, I just want to be able to express myself and be myself. And I want to have freedom, and I don't want to have to just respond to somebody and, live my life doing these fucking tasks that I don't even care about at a job that I don't care about. But I don't know. I feel like it's become such a weird, intimidating energy, or I don't know, it's become a weird thing. But truly, just think about when you were a child and you draw and you just do things for the fun of it and you'd play for the fun of it. It really is supposed to be that energy. And I just feel like as human beings, we have to find ways to express what we're feeling and what we're experiencing. And there are so many different outlets for that. It doesn't have to be drawing. It doesn't have to be clothing. It can be basketball. It can be fucking whatever speaks to your heart, okay? Whatever you love to do. But just have fun with it, and don't worry about it being good or bad, because that's not even real anyways. That's very subjective. So just get that out of your head. I know I can get in my head sometimes. I love drawing, and I can be so frustrated because it feels like my hand isn't articulating what my brain wants, and I can get just really hard on myself, and it really takes away from the fun of the experience of drawing. But if I can go into it consciously and just allow myself to have fun with it, it always feels so nice. And then I usually end up loving what I created because of my intentions while creating it, and because of how I felt while I was creating it, and the experience of creating it and being present with that, and maybe putting on nice music in my room and getting cozy in my bed at night and getting out my colored pencils. It's a fun, nice thing to do, okay? It shouldn't be this pressure of, is this the most amazing thing or not? Does this look good or not? It really is just about getting things out of your system and expressing. A third tip would be spending time alone. And I know I said that for the first tip, to kind of revel in your own energy. But I would say this is more to be able to allow yourself to receive inspiration, and to allow yourself to receive inspiration outside of maybe any external opinions or trends or anything like that. I think also just having time away from your phone too. I always notice when I put my phone away earlier at night and I let myself just read and kind of have a clear channel without distractions, I always get my best ideas. When I was living at my old studio, I was going to be moving out, but that place was very significant to me. And I remember I don't always have the best nighttime routine. So a lot of times I would spend time on my phone scrolling up until I go to bed. But I consciously had put my phone away, and I was, just really spending time with myself, kind of allowing myself to be bored basically, and to not be constantly consuming. And then I had this really sweet idea that I should have my friend Lily come and take pictures of me at my studio, and I got all these ideas for where I wanted to pose and where I wanted to take the pictures around the house, because it really was just such a special era to me that I wanted to be able to document it. And that's honestly probably something I wouldn't have thought about if I hadn't taken time to unplug. And I ended up getting the sweetest pictures that make me so happy and just remind me of the time that I experienced there and kind of just that time in my life. So I feel like just taking time to kind of unplug from the outside world. Also, when we're on social media, we are consuming so many different opinions and thoughts constantly that it's hard to, one, have an original idea, and two, kind of own what feels good to you without falling into other people's opinions on things. If you go on Twitter, it's just opinion. It's so much. So I feel like we have to be very conscious with what we consume as well, and really make sure that we are filtering out what resonates and what doesn't resonate, or maybe just stepping away entirely if we're not able to do that. But I just feel like being able to connect to your own unique inspiration source, energy source, and also just have a clear channel for ideas from source to just flow through you too. It's I've read so much that ideas aren't unique. Like, they will go through many people. It's just kind of whoever will execute it first, you know? And that's kind of like goes into the collective consciousness, where it's like maybe you think of something and then you see somebody else execute it and you're like, whoa, I was just thinking of that. It's like, ideas aren't really special. They're available to everybody. We're very, very, very connected on very deep levels. It's just about like expressing it and doing it in your own way, and not sitting on it and not waiting and not being a perfectionist, basically. I've done that many times and I always regret it. But yeah, just spending time unplugged from everything so you can receive information, you can receive ideas, you can receive inspiration. And this doesn't even have to be for like a specific project that you're working on, but literally just for your life and like how you're approaching life. If you feel like you're stuck in a situation, just allowing information to flow through and allowing yourself to create from a very authentic place outside of what anybody else thinks, what is popular in the moment, what people like, what people don't like just outside of all of that. This is so, so, so important. I actually cannot stress that enough. And I feel like this is what makes people stand out, is when they are so truly and uniquely themselves. Because people are just, you know, always copying each other. And of course that's going to happen like literally accidentally, because we've been around for so long, you know, but I don't know. I just feel like you can always tell when somebody is really connected to their own energy. And that is truly what makes something stand out at this day and age, is somebody just being genuinely authentic to themselves. And I love to consume content from people that I feel like are very much so themselves. And they're all very different. They're all so different. And it's just like flowers, you know, how there's so many different kinds. They're all beautiful, just like dogs, so many different kinds. They're all cute. Like, we're all supposed to have our own unique vision and really honor that. And it's all valid. It's all needed. It's all beautiful. Also recommend just staying open to life, staying inspired to life. Like, we experience so many inspiring things on the daily that sometimes we can just overlook because they seem normal. But like, truly, there are so many miracles happening. Us being alive right now is a miracle. The people in your life are a miracle. Like, just the fact that everything is so in sync is so perfectly beautiful and amazing, that there's inspiration everywhere. Okay, you guys, if you can stay open to it, and if you can stay open to just feeling and allowing yourself to just really experience this lifetime and immerse yourself in this lifetime, the pain, the beauty, and like everything in between, there's so much available to help you, to articulate, to express, to inspire you, to move you, to make you feel, you know. You just have to kind of stay open to it being in surprising places or showing up in ways that maybe you wouldn't expect. Another tip is meditating on your chakras and really pouring into your chakras and connecting with that energy. And I highly recommend Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, if you're wanting to learn more about chakras. It took me 6 months to read that book, but it was life-changing. And he's a doctor, and he kind of goes into the science behind chakras and how they work. So if you're kind of like interested in this kind of stuff, but it feels too woo-woo, highly recommend him, because he really balances like the spiritual and like the actual science behind everything in a really amazing way to help you really like logically understand how this is all working. But they're all different energy centers in our body that kind of work with different energy. And you have your sacral chakra, which is connected to your creativity, and you have your solar plexus chakra, which is connected to your confidence. They all have different colors associated with them, different movements, all kinds of different things. So if you want to look into that, you can wear orange for your sacral chakra. You can eat orange foods, you can do certain meditations or yoga for your sacral chakra, and same for your solar plexus, which is associated with the color yellow. I did this for many years. I was like so desperate years ago. I've done so much work on my throat chakra too, you guys. The fact that I'm able to articulate and express myself in these videos like semi-confidently is miraculous compared to where I used to be back in the day. So I really feel like focusing on these energy centers and doing what you can to really empower them and align them is so, so, so helpful. And I will notice when I'm feeling not very confident in myself, when I'm not very good at making decisions for myself, I'm not trusting myself. I'm like, oh, okay, I really need to connect with this chakra. If I'm having a very difficult time articulating myself, or if I'm feeling out of my heart, I'm not feeling really connected to gratitude, like it's all signs, okay, you guys, pointing us to maybe leaning into some healing or aligning work that maybe we need to do. But yeah, just listening to confidence affirmations in general, creativity affirmations, subliminals, it's so helpful to just permeate and fucking saturate your brain with positivity, with love, with inspiration, with reassurance. I love doing that. I love listening to affirmations first thing when I wake up. That's kind of part of my morning routine. While I shower and get ready, I'll listen to something like really positive, whether that's like affirmations or like Abraham Hicks Rampage or subliminals for like my dream life or something like that. But if you're really trying to focus on like harnessing and nurturing your creativity, there are so many different affirmation channels out there. You can just look up affirmations for confidence, affirmations for creativity, and just listen to them and go about your day and just let it saturate your subconscious mind and fill you with confidence. And then I think my last tip would be just to remember that this really is a muscle, and it really is as simple as just owning what feels true and right to you. We can really overthink things, and I learned this too when I moved to LA and I started doing styling jobs, and I had to like very definitively give my opinion on things, when in the past I would probably be a little bit more passive or insecure to say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And I still can struggle with that at certain times in my life. But if you really break it down, it's as simple as just in the moment, do I like this? Do I not like this? Is this how I want to approach this? Or this is what I want to do? Like, it's that easy. It's innate. It's an innate thing that you don't have to overthink. You just have to allow. You truly just have to allow it. I would say this whole journey of like building confidence, just like let yourself go at your own pace. The more that you kind of connect with your own energy, the more confident you will feel in your opinions on things, in owning what you love, and showing up in the world and expressing yourself. And it's a really fucking beautiful thing, because all of our visions and all of our own unique energies are just so needed in the world. Can you imagine if your favorite song didn't exist because that artist like didn't want to share it with the world? Like, there's so much that we consume, so much art, so much beauty, so many expressions, poems, everything that we consume because people were vulnerable enough to share their souls, you know, pieces of their souls. And it's just what makes the world go round, you guys. It really is. And it's all so needed, even from you, you know, there's no limit. We are always needing it. And the way that you view the world, the way that you show up in the world, your own natural energy is exactly the way that it is supposed to be. It's exactly the way that it is supposed to be, for us to all have variety, for us to learn from one another, for us to experience, for us to create synchronicities in each other's lives. It's all so needed, you guys. So yeah, just owning what feels good to you and doing that continually on a daily basis in any way that feels right to you, just in the way that you live your life, the way that you interact with others, and your styling choices, for whatever medium you work with. Really just owning what feels good to you and working that muscle until you feel so confident and you feel so secure within yourself that maybe you want to share it. You don't have to. You never have to share anything. But if you feel called to, I just feel like, yeah, it is so desired in the world. But yeah, you guys, I think that those are all my tips. I just want to remind you that nobody can tell you otherwise. Like, nobody can tell you that you do not harness creativity. Like I said before, we are innately creative beings. Everything about you is special and like perfectly unique to you, and that is exactly how it is supposed to be. And even if you aren't drawn to typical like artistic outlets, whatever you like to do is perfect. If you like to knit, if you like to play sports, if you like to garden, if you like to play video games, make video games, like literally whatever it is, nothing is like higher on a fucking hierarchy or scale of like what's cool, what's not cool, what's actually creative, what's not creative. We are all existing in our own unique, special ways, and even the ways that we show up in the world and like the decisions that we make for ourselves, what we decide to eat, like it's all creative. It's all up to you. So even if you're not necessarily interested in like stereotypical artistic outlets, like that doesn't matter. You are still a creative being and your essence is still needed in the world, and nobody can take that away from you, no matter what somebody says to you. My ex telling me I harness zero creativity, like that literally is not real. Although it did make me feel really, really bad about myself, but luckily I was able to overcome that and connect with myself. And if anybody has ever put you down or made you feel insecure, you can also do the same. yeah, it's all up to you, and it's all innate, and it's all just about like connecting with it and nurturing it and being kind to yourself and just being confident and owning what you think is cool. Like, it really is just up to you, and it might not be what other people think are cool, and you just have to not listen and not give a fuck and not internalize that either, and not like get mad at them, but just like laugh and be like, okay, well, I like this, and that's all that matters, you know? I think, yeah, that's what makes somebody stand out. That's what makes somebody cool to me. And I think just in the day and age of so many trends and people wanting to fit in, like, it's just so important that you honor what feels true and right to you. But anyways, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. I feel like if I had seen this when I was going through that back in the day, it would have actually brought me so much relief. It's not even funny, because I genuinely thought that I just was like this weirdo with no creativity, no confidence. Like, I really, really had to build myself back up. Like, that relationship really just obliterated any of my confidence and self-love. But it's been a really beautiful journey returning back to myself, and I feel so just happy to be here and so in love with myself and so connected to myself and my younger self and my creativity and my expression, and it just feels, nothing feels better than just fully being you. I truly, truly believe that nothing feels better than just fully being you, whatever that looks like in the moment. That might look different than how it looked yesterday. I've been really reconnecting with how I felt when I was younger. I had pink hair when I was younger, and I used to dress, I don't know, I just feel like I'm returning back to so many ways I used to express myself, because it's resonating again, and it feels so fulfilling and like so fun, and I just feel so me. I literally tweeted yesterday saying, I'm in my being me bag. But that's how it feels, and it's so fun. And nobody can take that away from you, okay? Nobody can take that away from you. But anyways, you guys, yeah, I hope this was helpful. I love you guys so fucking much. Just continue to own being who you are and leave your mark on the world and feel good about yourself while you're doing it. And like I said, even if you just keep all of it to yourself, that's okay too. Just like revel in your own connection with yourself and have fun with it and feel good. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I will be back again in another video, probably going to keep thinking about what would have been helpful for past me. So I'm hoping to get some different variety out there with my videos. But anyways, okay, I wish you guys the best, and I will see you guys again soon. Okay, bye.